All right, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be like a new type of video for me. I got a couple of requests on how I saved money. So if you're new to this channel, I am consumer debt free. I am paying off my school loans. That's my priority right now, my Heartland loan. And I'm trying to save as much money as possible. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that in January 2020 I officially saved 20,000, and I've gotten a couple of questions on how I've done this. So I kind of like wrote down a couple of things and like my top 5. I'm just like so new to this. So I had to really go back and see what worked for me. So before I even start, I do want to say a couple of things. That first, you need to find what works for you. Like for me, like for example, I've seen a lot of videos that work on percentages. So, oh, you save 10% of your paycheck. You save 20%. That doesn't work for me. I realized, for example, no matter how much I got paid in the beginning, I saved no less than $100. Like if that was what I was aiming for, I need a specific number, a concrete, clean number that motivates me to save it. Whether it's 100, 200, not 150, not 350. I need clean, whole number. I'm gonna tell you, this 20,000 took me a while because I wasn't serious. So I'll show you. Before I started with this notebook, I had a composition notebook. I have one picture from that composition notebook of me planning ahead, and maybe I'll insert the picture here. But I threw away that notebook because I was done with it, and I never thought to save it because I never thought I would make a YouTube channel. But anyway, so this notebook starts in 2017. As you can see, I was a hot mess. Like, anyway, so let me see. Let me read my notes because I wrote down specific things I wanted to make sure I said. Okay, so like I said before, I started saving officially when I got my first real job. You can say, because I worked throughout college, but I never saved any money. It was not about that life. I was about spending, buying shit. Horrible. So when I got my first real job at 21, I became a teacher at 21. I started saving little bit of money because I was still in that mentality where I didn't think it was necessary to save. I was racking up my credit cards. So like you can see here, I'll zoom in a little bit for you. When I started this notebook, these were all my credit cards. Nordstrom, I owed $471. Gap, $853. My Loft credit card, $197. Chase, $1,809. LL Bean credit card, $51. So I wasn't serious about this whole saving, getting out of debt. I didn't give a fuck, to be honest. Sorry if my language is crazy, but I just want to get the message out that if you're not gonna give a fuck, you won't, until you're ready and you see and you have goals set for yourself. Okay, so let's see. All right, so like I was saying, I started off small because I didn't care. So for example, here you can see my 30th paycheck. I didn't save nothing. So you can see here I didn't save anything. The 15th of December, I only saved 200. Let's see if we keep going. I didn't save anything January 15th. Oh, I did save 200. But again, like I wasn't serious about saving. So I did save, but not enough to make a difference to my 20,000. And I even, in these months, I didn't even have that goal set in mind. Yeah. And then you can see my credit card, like my Chase was 1,809, and that was 2017. And then we go into March 15, 2018, and I was still spending money, 2,388. So you see, and then the next bike check, 2,500 I had in credit card debt. So it was just more and more I was spending. So I wasn't serious about it. All right, my point is, once you get serious with it, then you start to make room to save. So at this point, I was getting serious about paying off my credit cards. So I would save at a minimum 400, because that's what I could fit in my budget, because I was trying to pay off all my credit cards. So yeah, little by little, once I started paying off credit cards, I guess this is my point. Once I started paying off credit cards, half of that money, so say for example, I was paying, let's use it. Say for example, I was paying, say 200 to one credit card, right? And I paid that credit card off. So what I would do is I would add 100 to my savings. So for example, I was already saving 400 a month. So once I finished that credit card, I would split half to my savings. So now I would be saving 500, and the other would go to my other credit card. So that would make an additional payment to my other credit cards. So that's what I did to increase my savings and to also keep paying off more debt. Let's see, when did I start keeping track? That's another thing. I didn't keep track of how much I was saving, so that was another thing that was slowing me down. I only started keeping track on the 8/15/2019. So you can see I only had 13,425 here. And by the end of the month, I had 13,825. Then we have September. I had at the end 14,000. So once I started keeping track, that really pushed me to keep saving more money. So before I was only saving 500, and I wasn't seeing a big difference. So what I did was start saving more money. And that gave me to 15,800. And then the next month, save more money. That was 7,000. And then I gave myself a deadline. So by 2020, I wanted to have at least 20,000 or close to 20,000. So that would push myself to work more. And that's another thing. I'm going to tell you my 5 tips at the end of the video. But obviously, you're going to hear it from different people, from different financial videos. You have to make more money. Like, it's simple as that. Or you got to cut your finances, but that's not appeasable. I forgot that word. That's not accessible to certain people. Like for me, I had a set amount that I couldn't finagle any money from. So my only option was to make more money. So that means working more hours. So yeah. So then you see, I started working more, saving more. So now I was at 17, and that was like, damn, I have 17,000. Like, I'm only 3,000 away, and this was already in November. Then December, I saved 2,600 this month, and that gave me to 19,600. And then finally in January, I made the 20,000. So by the end of 2019, I had 19,600, which I was extremely satisfied with, because I wanted to make 20,000 or close to 20,000. So that left me feeling like successful. Then I knew in the end of February I would have made the 20,000. The end of January I would have made the 20,000. Okay, so I hope this video makes some sort of sense. Again, this is my first time doing this type of video. This is video for like beginners, I would say, because this was my journey. Like, I did not give 2 shits about saving, and then like I had goals in mind. So I would say, number 1, you have to be a person who has some sort of goal. So my reason for saving 20,000 right now is because I am 27. I want to buy my apartment. I don't want to rent. I want to buy an apartment. And so this savings is for a down payment. And in New York City, you need a decent amount of money. So my goal is 50,000. My first realistic number was 20,000. This year it is another 15,000, and then and I want to buy my apartment before I'm 30, so that's why these numbers are pretty high. So you have to have a goal. I would say is your first option. So I kind of wrote down my tips. So this is a little crazy. So my first tip would be to focus on a set number. That worked for me. So if it's 100, 200 per check or per month. So for example, I saved 100 every month in the beginning, or 200 every month. And then I kept it a clean, nice number, because I work better that way. Especially if I had credit card debt. So it was going to be low because my goal was to pay off those credit cards. If you want to take it a step further, I would set a deadline, a realistic deadline, whether it's a couple of months you want to save a certain amount, or it's a year. So I do yearly goals. So for example, I'll show you. My financial goal was to pay off my credit card debt in 2020, and I accomplished that. It was also to save 20,000 by the end of 2019, which I was close to. Now this year's goal is to save 15,000 and to pay off my Heartland loan. So I would say set a deadline, a realistic deadline. My third tip would be to pay off your credit cards. So like, I know you want to save money, and do save money, whether it's 100, 200 per month, but your priority is to pay off your credit cards, because that interest kills you. And once you're able to pay off your credit card, then you can take some of that money and put it half towards savings and half towards another credit card, and that you will slowly increase your savings. My fourth tip, and I put 4 down here, is to make a chart, a flow chart, to keep you motivated. So for example, here, so look at this shit. This is crazy. Isn't this crazy? But this is what motivated me. When I got to 15,000, I was like, this is too overwhelming, because this made 50,000. So this was too overwhelming, so I made a simpler flow chart. So this just keeps me motivated to keep saving, and to keep working extra, because I love to highlight and show off how much I save to myself. So make a flow chart. And I do want to give credit where credit's due. I took this idea from Asia Dang. She like started me on my financial journey. She started me, gave me ideas like these. So yeah, make flow charts. They give you motivation. So that was my fourth tip. And then I would say my last tip, like I said before, find ways to make more money. That's just like gonna be how you meet your financial goals faster. Because realistically, if I wanted to save 20,000 by the end of 2019, I couldn't have made it happening by just my paycheck. Which was 1,595, because before my rent used to be super high. So I had to find ways to make more money. And fortunately my job did offer those, and I just started taking them. So again, start saving small if you have credit cards. Give yourself a realistic deadline, months or year. Pay off your credit cards. You have to pay off your credit cards, or else it's just gonna consume you. Make a flow chart to motivate you, and find ways to make more money. Those are my 5 tips for beginners. I'm gonna list these down like prettier in the description box. And hopefully this helps you. Hopefully I satisfied those of you asking me how I started. Yeah, hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully this motivates you to start saving just a little bit. 100, 200, 300, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.